Should a man invest in his woman or not? This question comes from what we've seen on some occasion whereby a man would invest in his woman, maybe take her to school, she graduates, she finds a job, and then she turns around and says, this man is no longer my type. Because now she's seen other men who are on her level, graduate, professionals and all that. But myself, I would pick lessons from that situation, but I wouldn't let it dictate my decisions going forward in relationships. Number one, I would never be with a woman, marry her or have kids with her if she's not a woman. I wouldn't risk investing in her. You need to remember that your kids need their mother to be someone who is inspirational, somebody they can look up to as a role model. They shouldn't look at their mother as someone who's just useless. Whereas when I, as a father, you are an inspiration, you are a role model, you are successful and all that. And their mother cannot even do anything resource-wise to her children. Well, so I wouldn't want my kids to be embarrassed when they look at their mother. Another reason is that what if I die and then I leave my woman with my children and I didn't invest in her enough to be self-sustainable that she can look after my kids when I'm dead. So for those reasons, I would invest in my woman. Number two is that I would never invest in a woman more than I'm investing in myself. That's why a woman will wake up one day and say, you are not my type anymore. You cannot be working, for an example, as a security guard, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then you are investing in your woman, whereby you are paying for his fees to become a doctor. Whereas where now you are not developing yourself in any way. And then you are hoping that once she becomes a doctor, she will be loyal to you. You and her, besides loyalty, you'll be on different levels in life. Your conversations will be different. She'll be meeting a lot of people who are more intellectual, conversations wise, lifestyle wise, and all that. And another thing, it raises a red flag about you. It shows that you are not ambitious. If you're going to pay for your woman's fees in university to become a doctor, while now you're sticking to your job as a security guard, you are not doing anything to develop yourself, to better yourself, maybe to move to the next level. Even if as a security guard, maybe you can work on having your own security company if you're passionate about security. But you need to develop yourself when you are developing your woman so that you can grow together. Because if you do not grow together, then you will grow apart. Once your woman now becomes a doctor, she's in a different level now. She's seeing the world from a different angle than she was when she was still maybe in university or she was still maybe as a high school graduate. The more you grow, the more a lot of things around you change. Your views in life and all that, things change. So I wouldn't invest in my woman more than I'm investing in myself. Number three is that in financial investing, we say never invest the money you cannot afford to lose. So in this sense, I wouldn't invest in a woman in a way that if she left me maybe for another guy, then I'm going to regret it. We know these things happen in life. It's not a surprise that somebody can wake up tomorrow and say, I do not want you, when you have done so much for them. These things are no longer a surprise. We need to be realistic with ourselves. I know it's possible she can wake up tomorrow and say, I found someone better. I do not want you anymore. So I wouldn't invest in her so much that if she left me, it would, destroy my life. I would be empty. I would feel useless. I would maybe go into depression. I wouldn't invest in a woman from that standing point of view. I would invest in her. I would help her become independent. If she left me, I'm going to accept that and move on. Because you cannot live your life on the basis that, what if she leaves me? Somebody can ask, what if you invest in her? Maybe you help her become a doctor, a lawyer, and then she leaves you. Okay, it's fine. Then what if you don't help her and then she's unemployed, she's not a graduate, she doesn't have qualifications, and she lives with you till death do you part? What then? We cannot be living our lives in fear. Sometimes you need to be in control of your life and then realize that, you know what, some situations are out of my control and some situations are in my control. Work with those who are in your control, but then be calculative with those who are out of your control. Because sometimes you need to be calculative, and then some things they need faith. You need to do them with faith, but not blind faith. Like I said, you need to be calculative. So, yes, I would invest in my woman, provided some of the things that I look for in a woman are met. I wouldn't just meet somebody and then suddenly I want to invest in them. I want to help them go to school. I want to help them start their business, grow their business and all that. While I didn't do my research on her, I didn't maybe look at, some of the basic things that you require to check in order to consider someone is worth living with them, someone is worth investing in them, especially long term. I wouldn't just invest in a woman blindly for the sake of love. So I would look at that. Is she worth investing in? And another thing is that I wouldn't just invest in a woman 100% while she's not contributing anything. Okay, she needs to be contributing towards her own growth. And then I come in and I help her where she's lacking. But if I meet a woman who's not ambitious, who's not everything, I wouldn't come into her life and say, hey, you need to do this and that. You need to do this and that. While herself, she didn't show any interest. She doesn't think of that at all. I wouldn't do that. So I need my woman to be ambitious, to be pushing, and then I'm there having her back. Where she lacks, I help her. So this is how myself as Tepang, I would invest in my woman. Is she worth investing in? Is she contributing towards her own growth? Is she a woman I can marry? Is she a woman whom can mother my kids? Then if she meets one of these requirements, then I would take a leap of faith and invest in her. And I wouldn't worry about her leaving me in the future or whatever. Such things are out of my control. I'll do what is in my control, research, calculate, and all that, and then leave everything to faith. So sometimes do not live your life in fear just because of someone's life became a wreck because of someone else. Yes, pick lessons from that.